I am putting some bets in. Fuck, it doesn't tell me when people join. They just join and speak first. Now the numbers show up. Fucking hell, I keep trying to like... Never mind, it's all good. Hey guys, what's up? How's it going? Manny Lopez. Pooh, says Willie. Hey, what's up, Guru? Did you watch the face-offs today? I did watch the face-offs today, and I do want to conclude that after what feels like 2 whole years of predictions on every single UFC fight night ever, and every single UFC card in all of existence, regardless of if it's in the middle of the week or the end of the week or whatever, every single UFC card I've ever watched, I've never regretted my picks more after watching the weigh-in face-offs than I have in this one. I've never regretted my decisions more. Not in the main event. I'm actually feeling a bit better about Dan Hooker. I'll be honest with you guys. I didn't realize how tall he was in the division. I thought Poirier was going to be a little bit on the same size as him, but still, Dan Hooker's still got the massive range advantage there. But I do want to talk about those weigh-in face-offs. I've never regretted it. I've never regretted it more. Never regretted it more. I just want to say this. Tanner Boser, when the world is normal, is morbidly obese. When the world goes to shit, Tanner Boser has abs. When did Tanner Boser have abs? When did Tanner Boser have abs? And when did Felipe Lins have rolls? I just don't get it. And then not to mention, we're going to get to it as well in a second here, guys. We're going to get to it as well in a second here. Gian Vellante is an absolutely disgraceful, morbidly obese cunt. That's exactly what Gian Vellante is. He showed up 255 pounds. And Maurice Green, who's usually saggy as hell, is showing up in reasonably good shape. What's going on? I don't understand this. You're getting paid for a living to do this. Please show up in reasonably good shape. And this is not a joke, Gian Vellante is a day away from competing in the UFC. I'm in better shape than him. Period. And that's just how it is. You still have Vellante? Yeah. Yeah, I still have him winning. But I wish the odds would... I wish I would have waited to bet, because I know the odds have dramatically changed now. Your odds to beat McGregor increased to 999.999. Yeah. That's crazy. Sorry to off. Okay, how dare you? Francis got KO'd by a flyweight. No, he didn't. What's up, Guru? Man like Guru? I was laughing my ass off seeing the weigh-ins. I knew you'd be heated. I was furious watching the weigh-ins. I've never been more angry watching a set of weigh-ins in my life. Absolutely disgraceful. I'm feeling real good about Jordan Griffin, though. I'll tell you that. Jordan Griffin's definitely going to beat Yusuf Salau, in my opinion. Just completely destroy him, submit him in the second round. Kay Hansen, no one cares about this matchup. Move on. This matchup looks okay. I'll say it over. That guy looks like he means business. I like it. I respect it. Kamar Worthy's definitely going to lose to Lewis Pena, in my opinion. I did put an underdog on him, but I've also put a bet on Lewis Pena as well in my major parlay. But I'm worried about Lewis. I was worried about Lewis Pena. I'm not anymore after seeing the face-offs. How does Lewis Pena make the weight class that he does? Sean Woodson's going to win 100%. And then Felipe Lins, it looks like him and Tanner Boser have had a fat transfer. Like, genuinely. Tanner Boser said, hey, do you want some of this gut? Here you go. I don't want it anymore. And Felipe Lins said, hey, what a surprise. I don't want abs. We can meet in the middle. Makes no sense, but either way, I'm still going to go with Felipe Lins. Then Brendan Allen's facing a guy who's bigger than him for some bizarre reason, even though he's taken a fight on less than a week's notice. That makes zero sense, but still, MMA. And then, what's he doing? And then Gian Vellante is just morbidly obese. I'm watching him now. I'm watching him do the stare down. Not at the weigh-in, because at the weigh-in, he's front on, so you can't really tell it as much. He's got folds in his back fat because his gut is too much to hold on to. You morbidly obese disgrace. Perry looked pissed in the interview, didn't give a fuck. Yeah, I don't know, man. Even Perry looks small as fuck. Like, what the fuck are these weigh-ins? How are they the same weight class? Mickey Gall has spoken about making £155 before. How does that make any sense? Mike Perry looks tiny compared to him. But whatever, man. I guess we're just going to see what fucking happens. Maybe I'll make 500. Honestly, I don't know what to do. You ain't slim, bro. I'm honestly in better shape than Gian Villante, so I don't give a fuck. I can say what I want about him. Gall looks huge. Yeah, Gall looks massive. I didn't realize how big he was. Guru, how's your day been? Been pretty good. Been pretty good day. Pretty annoying, to be honest with you. After I saw the weigh-ins, they've sort of put a sour tone on the rest of my day, I'll be honest. Matt Hamill impression go. What'd you say? He's legit bigger than you. He is. I'm 235 pounds. I'm taller than Gian Villante. How tall is Gian Villante? 6'2". I could be taller than him. He might actually be the same height as me. I could be taller than him. I'm not 200. I'm in better shape than Gian Villante, and I haven't trained for a fight for the past 8 weeks. What a disgrace. Gian Villante is 6'3", now he's 6'2". Guru's at 290. I'm not. I'm 235. It's crazy. I don't understand how they can allow that to happen to themselves. That makes zero sense. Gian Villante should fight the lifeguard. 235 kilos. Yeah. Gary McGregor at 254. I'm down, dude. Who would win, Colby Covington or Leon Edwards? Colby Covington. Best parlay is Bosa, Woodson, Perry. Fight goes the distance and main event goes past 2.5 rounds. Look at the odds, mate. No, I'm good. Which parlay for this week? I went with Luis Pena, Gian Villante, which I am just regretting because I thought he was going to show up on, I thought he was going to show up like a fighter who's in the UFC. I'm done listening to people tell me they don't get paid enough. I really am done with that shit. The amount of people that don't show up in shape, they deserve not to get paid a lot of money. But let me just say this. My parlay was Luis Pena, Felipe Lins, Gian Villante, big country, Gian Villante, Dan Hooker, and Mike Perry. But Gian Villante was a disgrace, and I'm ashamed. I'm very much ashamed. Should Davison Figueiredo move up to bantamweight? I think he'd do good at bantamweight. But he would. I don't think it's a smart move. You could just abuse people via cutting more weight than everyone else. That's what every champion in the UFC right now does. So, Aldo's fighting for the belt at 135. Volkanovski used to be 200 fucking pounds. Just a bit crazy. Everyone's a huge person in their weight classes. Volkanovski maybe not so, but you've got Khabib at lightweight, probably one of the top two biggest lightweights in the world right now. And then you've got fucking Kamaru Usman, the biggest welterweight. He's the welterweight champ. Middleweight, you've got 6'4" Adesanya, one of the biggest middleweights. He's the champ. And before people say that Adesanya isn't a big middleweight, shut up. He is. He's a big middleweight. He cuts a lot of weight like everyone else. I'm done with that whole myth that fucking Adesanya doesn't cut weight. Just an excuse as to why the media won't berate him for not fighting John Jones straight away. I don't give a fuck. John Jones, the biggest light heavyweight champion. Same with Dominic Reyes, arguably the people's champ because he beat John Jones. Stipe Miocic, heavyweight doesn't really mean the same thing, but still a big guy. Izzy is massive. Minus 200 Poirier Hooker over 1.5 rounds, you think? I think Hooker gets it done late first or early second, so no. We're going to lose some serious cash this card, man. Fuck this. This is just a disgrace. Like, we've put our money on you guys, man. Don't show up looking like a fucking melted fucking Mars bar, you cunt. Gian Villante. What the fuck? Not even. You can't. I don't even know what to say. I'm looking at his belly right now. That's not even like eating a lot and training. That's just eating a lot and not training. I'm so annoyed. I'm so annoyed. And Yuguru was like 5'9". I'm 6'2" and 3/4. Okay, just got here. What is going on? This is why you bet last minute. Yeah, I should wait to bet after the weigh-ins. Duly noted. Duly noted. I'm furious. What did Villante weigh in at? 255. $255. I met Guru in South London. He's 5'8". You've taken the one sliver of information you know about where I live. Oh, you just met me on the south part of London. Yeah, that place. Yeah, wherever that is, dude. Yeah, you don't know any place in particular, though, but just, south of the river. Yeah, somewhere there I met him. I just saw him. I was looking down the river, downstream, eastward, and he was on the south side of it. I saw him. He's 5'8". I'm not. I'm 6'2". Come on, guys. John doesn't look too bad. All that fat is energy. We'll see about that. We'll see about that because I'm worried about that. I'm worried about that. I'll be honest with you. I'm worried. But if he does get the win, actually, let me see the odds. If they changed dramatically against Gian Vellante, because they should have done. And I should have waited to bet because I could have made better money if I just sat there and saw the state of Gian Vellante on the fucking weigh-in scales. Let me see. Oh, yeah, he's jumped down a bit. He was going closer towards Maurice Green. Actually, it's the same odds that I did bet in the first place, actually. So I'm kind of lucky there. But he started when I bet on him. And they started getting a bit closer, but now it's just gone back to where it was. So maybe it's not that bad for me, but still, that is not a good look from Vellante. Woodson has no arse, just legs. I know, it's strange. He's got the longest back I've ever seen. Just cash out, mate. No, I'm good. I could cash out, but I'd get like half my money. I'll ask you to sign an autograph with potential. Thank you very much. Giant Vellante. Hooker looks relaxed and ready, shredded to the teeth. He's going to knock out Dustin. I think he's going to knock out Dustin Poirier as well. Dustin Poirier is looking... Don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of Dustin Poirier. But, I think in 5 years, he's going to look like an old man. Maybe it's because I can't see the rest of his face, but I'm getting a vibe from his eyes. I'm getting like Brian Callum vibes from his eyelids. You know, like this is going to be some aging problems. And they're coming quick. But we'll see what happens, man. He just looks a little bit drawn out, in my opinion. Dan Hooker looks good at the weigh-ins. He looks like he doesn't even cut weight, which is definitely not true. He's one of the biggest 155ers, despite being a guy who can make 145. But then again, maybe he's just one of these guys that just is light in the bones. Who knows? John New York Pizza Vellante, yeah. Hey, yo, young people aren't going to want to do MMA over the money situation. What are you talking about? You get paid shit tons of money to be in the UFC. What are you talking about? People are crazy, man. People are crazy, and I figured this out yesterday as well. And I've been figuring it out a bit more recently, and especially in America. Maybe it's because I only really know of celebrities in America, so they have a very different perspective on money. But listen, man, I'd fight for 10 to 10. And even if I didn't know what I was doing, I'd fight 10 for 10. 10 grand to show, 10 grand to win. Are you kidding me? To get my ass beat, I get 10 grand? I actually don't understand this whole money dispute. It makes zero sense to me. They make so much money. And I think that people hear, I don't even know. People hear different things when they hear numbers, depending on what situation they're in. But when I hear that Roosevelt Roberts making 24 grand to show and 24 grand to win, just to get his arm yanked on a little bit in the first round. 24 grand. 24 grand to show up and get your arm yanked on for a little bit. God, that's crazy. I met Guru at Merton or Wimbledon or Sutton or Morden or Mitchum's fight. He just named the trifecta of South London. I get it. Guru is bald and 5'8". It's not true. Joe Rogan is 5'7". Okay, dude, let's not be rude. He's not actually 5'7", is he? 5'5". I think of it this way. It's going to be a sumo wrestler and win via smothering. There we go. That could work, actually. Localized center of gravity on Gian Vellante, taking someone down and putting his belly on him. DC style. I like it. 24K is more than the undercard got in Fury versus Wilder. It's true. It's probably true. It's probably not true. I just want to say that that's probably not true. It's probably around 30 or 50K that they earned amongst themselves, all the other fighters on the card. But, you know, it's all good. Gian Vellante sub is 22-1. I might fancy the odds considering his win. I just think I don't even care about what you just said, but it's good odds. Good odds. Vellante by sub is good odds. But I just want to say this whole money situation, I think the world is going in a dangerous spiral, and the media's kind of leading it. And I don't think they I don't even know. I don't want to say. Take the hat off. I met Guru selling drugs at Peckham. He's 5'8". It's not true. Take that off. No, I'm good. Guru just joined the stream. What do you think of the weigh-ins and the face-offs? Oh, I've been through them. You might be a bit late. You can go back in the stream if you want to know. But Gian Vellante is a disgraceful piece of shit, and I regret putting my money on him. And Maurice Green's looking good, looking in good shape, surprisingly, since he's been fighting crime for the past month rather than being in the gym. All that fighting crime must be a little bit of a workout, I guess. That is disgraceful, Gian Vellante. His face isn't fat, though. That's the weird thing about him. He puts on weight weirdly, I guess. Yo, Guru, I bet on Hooker and Dalkaus. What do you think? Good job, dude. Goal by submission at 6.5. I've got Ige 29-28 and Perry versus Goal. Okay. Nice one, dude. Dan Ige coming in with the robbery. Has anyone ever said I'm getting Brian Callum vibes from his eyelids in the world before? I mean, I kind of am, you know? Divas and Figueiredo versus DJ. Who wins? Divas and Figueiredo at this point. No, DJ would win. DJ would win. DJ would take him down a couple times, keep him there. I say DJ beats him. I think Cejudo at flyweight would probably beat Davison. But we'll never know. And I think the Davison's got way more to prove. I just don't think it's the same Benavidez that you can... I don't think it's the same Benavidez, you know? I met Guru as an Arsenal game. Okay, it didn't happen, definitely, seeing as all Premier League matches are closed right now. Thank you for the 5-8 comments. Appreciate that. Check Liana, Yuya, Insta. That girl is 5 fired. No, I'm good. Americans complain about $15 an hour minimum wage. That's crazy. How much is 15? Is that actually their minimum wage? Hang on a second. 15. I tell you, this is the cycle of life, and I hate to agree with Jocko Willink. I don't even think it was his thing. £12.15 is your minimum wage over there? It's £7 here. What the fuck? Americans need to shut up and get bombed. Honestly, it's actually so annoying. They're so privileged. Just get bombed a bit and we'll figure it out afterwards. Oh, shit. £12 is their minimum wage. That's crazy. In some states, well, move to those states. Doesn't mean anything. Figueiredo versus Yan prediction. Yan would win. Figueiredo would unload looking for the KO early, and going up in weight, he'd have trouble maintaining his pacing, and he would be unused to throwing with 10 pounds extra behind his punches, meaning he would gas out, throwing too hard for Piotr Yan. Yan would take over and finish him in a second or third. Yes, Target and McDee's pay $15 an hour. That's crazy, man. That is actually crazy. US federal minimum wage is only like $7.50. In Indiana, $7.25 in most states. Interesting. In my state, is $7.25. Okay, never mind then. Maybe we're wrong. But $15 for McDonald's employees. Our McDonald's employees get paid close to minimum wage, so you know. It's a bit weird. 13 in New York. I mean, maybe it differs, but then again, it's more expensive in all of those. Let's not talk about the minimum wage. Let's talk about the fighter pay. They get paid a great amount of money. And I don't understand why no one can. I don't know. I just don't get it. I think everyone just wants to be rich and doesn't want to try to get there. In all honesty in life, I think that's just kind of the situation right now. Jorge Masvidal said he doesn't get paid enough, but he's set for life and can retire. It doesn't really work out that way, Jorge Masvidal. I don't think you can say those two things together. John Jones, I don't get paid enough. I'll retire. I could have retired after the Machida fight. You know, a little bit strange. You shouldn't have said those two things together. Quit your job. No, I'm good. What are your thoughts on Cruz and Bisping as commentators? They ruin the fights. Who are the worst and best commentators? I don't think they ruin the fights, but they definitely... $2 from Chris Jackson. Can you do an American accent? I can't do an American accent. I can't do it. Especially not by saying that. I could probably do it by saying something else, but I don't really care about Bisping and Cruz. Every commentator is shit in MMA. Every commentator in period is shit in MMA, in my period. In my opinion, not in my period. Dan Ige is a robber. Is this true? I believe it is. He stole a career from Edson Barboza. Chris Jackson, $2. Can you do an American accent? I can't unless you give me something so American to say. Calvin Cater. That's my Calvin Cater in an American accent. Brendan Fitzgerald. That's my Brendan Fitzgerald in an American accent. Just give me names and I'll say them in an American accent, because that's the only time I hear Americans is American commentators. Perry by tornado kick, feint into a spinning. I can't do that. It's too much. You went too many words. Can't do it. Spinning a heel kick feint into a roundhouse kick KO in round 5. Southern American accent, brother. Yeah. I'm like, that's my Southern American accent. Jan fighting for a paycheck, Volante. Jan showing for show money, but Volante over here. Does Brendan Allen get the finish, Guru? Brendan Allen will get the finish by second round TKO. Joe Rogan is a true guru. Discuss. Joe Rogan, and I've seen this before, so I'm stealing this. Joe Rogan mistakes having thoughts for being a genius. Why is Jan so fat? Because he is fat and he has not trained hard. Call of Duty with Gian Vellante. Gian Vellante, after this, you'll be back on the embedded episodes with Weidman. That's the height of his career if he fails this one. I actually don't know. If he doesn't win this one, there's no explanation other than you don't care about your career. Say the dog licked the oil. The dog licked the oil. I've seen that video. Lick the oil. The dog licked the oil. And everybody laughed. I've seen that video. Can you cash out and create new parlay? That's what I might do. I'm going to stick with my parlay because I've got balls of steel. And I also know not to tempt the universe to make me switch and then regret it once those actual picks come through. So I'm going to challenge the universe of reverse psychology because I can't cash in my money because it's already halved in value. So I'm going to have to stick with them anyway. That's really annoying me. But that's okay. I think they're all going to be correct. So we're good. We're good. We'll see what happens. Quarantillo versus Bryce Mitchell. Who wins? Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell versus Philly. Andre Philly. Bryce Mitchell. Andre Philly. I say Andre Philly wins. I'll see, man. I'll have to see. I say Bryce Mitchell. Andre Philly's coming off some damage in his last fight compared to Bryce Mitchell, who took 0 damage whatsoever. I say Bryce Mitchell wins based on momentum. Bows are looking ripped, though. I know. And Felipe Lins is looking obese. So, all good. All good. Guru Masvidal wants your location. Masvidal's not going to get my location. That fight's in October. The only location Masvidal needs is the directions to Fight Island, where he should have been fighting Kamaru Usman, but he chose not to because he wanted more money, despite saying that he wanted the belt and only the belt his entire career, and he would have fought for it for free to say that he's the best fighter in the world. And now that he's finally got here, he wants to play games with the money, even though they offered him the same money that he made in the Nate Diaz fight per Ariel Helwani. The day before Gilbert Burns accepted it, he still said no and wants more. There's no denying him. Not only does he want more money and doesn't feel like he's worth enough, but he also feels like he could retire because he's self-made and he doesn't need any more money. He's set for life. There's no defense. There was. I was defending Masvidal here and there. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Maybe Usman's not playing ball. Usman signs a fight with Burns. Masvidal declines it for the same money he was paid in the Diaz fight. There's no explaining that. It's just you didn't want to fight Usman. Good job. Nick Diaz, it's a lie. I didn't ankle pick Guru. His shoelace came loose and I went down to tie it, but he moved his foot, so I grabbed his ankle and he fell off of his wheelchair. Okay. I don't know if I would bother with laces if I was in a wheelchair. I'm just saying. I think it would be nothing but Velcro because I don't think I'd care what would be on my feet, in all honesty with you. I'd probably go out. If I was in a wheelchair, I'd be barefoot the whole time. Andre versus Bryce is in October. They verbally agreed. I know they did on Twitter, but that's not a verbal agreement. I know that's a verbal agreement. I understand that, but I will wait until the fight gets announced. Thank you very much. But I feel like it will happen for sure. Seeing as they both agreed to it, it makes sense. And any change Gall beats Perry, he looks huge. I considered it. I kind of wanted to see their feet at the stare downs because I also wanted to see him get a little bit closer as well because I want to see if one of them's got shoes on and the other hasn't because I don't know. I think Perry beats him still. Perry's going to inflate after the weigh-ins. He's just coming off the scales. These weigh-ins are different, I feel like, because they are just getting off the scales whenever they square up with each other, So it's hard to get a gauge on how big they are. I think fighters should have to be within a certain weight range when not fighting. If too heavy for their weight class, they will be fined. That would make sense. I mean, it would. I think, in my opinion, you shouldn't be able to cut past the division above you. I think that would be a great way to stop weight cutting, but not stop weight cutting, but just make weight cutting not about, okay, this guy can just physically cut more weight, so he's going to have a huge advantage. Michael Chiesa should have been nowhere near the UFC. He made it into rankings at lightweight off of being bigger than everyone and being able to cut more weight than everyone else as well. He's now bigger than everyone at welterweight bar Usman. Maybe even including Usman. But it just makes no sense. They should weigh the weight of the class while fighting. No, they shouldn't. That'd be really difficult to manage, and they shouldn't do that whatsoever. Because otherwise, they'll be restricting, hey, don't take that extra sip of water. You're going to be a 0.5 pounds over by the time you get in the cage. And then what if they want a drink of water before the fight starts? That makes no sense. Should do it based on weigh-in day. Whatever happens after that happens after that. But I feel like they should only be allowed to cut from below the weight class above them. In the case of when there's a massive jump between weight classes, just round it up to 10. So you can only cut 10 pounds. But they're never going to do that because weight bullies. I saw Miguel ankle pick Guru in South London. That's not true. If you're a solid fighter, you will be on a 15 to 25k to show and win 3 times a year. You'll earn 47.75k without win bonuses. If you lose every fight, you'll earn 45 to 75k. Depending on weight divisions, I'm assuming you're going off of as well. Because the bigger guys earn way more money. Betting on Gaul, I feel he will win. Nice. He is big, and that's the only thing he's got going for him so far. I don't know how he ever was questioning making 155 pounds, but still, he's looking in good shape, and we'll see what happens. If Perry loses, it's going to be the meme of the century. Gaul by round 2 sub, calling it. Nah, I don't think that'll happen. I think if he gets a sub, it'll be in the first round. He'll just immediately blast double and get it, you know? I don't know if it's just me, but I'm so hyped about Luis Pena versus Kamal Worthy. Same here. It's a good fight. Such an interesting fight. I feel like this should have been on the main card. Yeah, but they need something to get people to watch the prelims as well. So I understand why it wasn't on the main card. I get it, but they just need something to headline the prelims because they can't just completely ditch the prelims, you know? They've already got 4 fights on there. What are they going to do? Have Sean Woodson headline it? It just wouldn't make much sense in my opinion. But, you know, they've stacked up the main card. I just wish I was involved with the matchmaking process because I would create better cards than this shit. So many better cards. In fact, do you want to listen to some of my cards that I've created while I've been gone? I'm excited. You can tell because my voice just raised in pitch. But listen to these cards that I've created. August 1st. You ready for this card? Holly Holm versus Irene Aldana, already announced. Derek Brunson versus Edmund Shabazian. It's a co-main event. Feature fight of Ricardo Lamas versus Ryan Hall. We're rebooking it for this card. Vicente Luque versus Randy Brown. 4th fight down the main card. Greg Hardy versus Todd Duffy kicks off the main card. Trevin Giant, and then the rest of them have been announced as well, but fuck that one. And that one doesn't... never mind. They don't make any sense because there's been some stuff. Yes, let's hear them, boss man. Okay, I'll talk about it. If Bryce Mitchell wasn't fighting Andre Fili, Derek Lewis versus Alexei Olenek. Main event already announced. Chris Weidman versus Omari Akhmedov. Co-main event already announced. The rest of the main card, Mitchell versus Dawodu in the feature fight. Alaya Quinta versus Gregor Gillespie, 4th fight down. Jamahal Hill versus Shamil Gamzatov. Because that way you've got the Americans versus the Russian theme. And I like that. And then you've got Zubaira Tukagov versus Nate Landwehr. Also America versus Russia headlining the prelims. I think that would be a great fight. But, you know, what do I know? Maybe they should just hire me, you know? And then UFC Fight Night, August 22nd. Yoel Romero versus Uriah Hall. So far, I'm considering it the main event. Dos Anjos versus Pettis 2 as the co-main. Allen versus Yusuf as the feature fight. Agapova versus Dobson, 4th fight down on the main card. And then Jake Matthews versus Daniel Rodriguez as the kicker offer of the main card. And then Chaos Williams versus Dwight Grant headlining the prelims. It's pretty easy to make cards, in my opinion. Burns versus Masvidal. Masvidal would win. UFC 252 is on my birthday. Tell me your card. 252? I've got a card for 252. You want to hear it? Here we go. Stipe Miocic, Daniel Cormier 3 is the main event. Great main event, already announced. Adesanya versus Costa for the co-main event. Great stuff. And there's going to be a theme on this card. See if you can pick it up. Feature fight of Stephen Thompson versus Michael Chiesa. 4th fight down the main card. Renato Moicano versus Brad Riddell. Brazil versus City Kickboxing. Junior Dos Santos versus Jairzinho Rosenstruik kicks off the main card. Main card done. Ankleev Kutalaba 2 headline in the prelims. That's already booked. Kai Kara France versus Alex Perez. Southern American versus CKB. I like that one as well. Livia Hanata Souza versus Ashley Yoda already booked. We can't really do much about those. They're already on there. Caceres versus Young is also something I want to put on there. Shane Young from CKB as well. Featherweight in the bottom of the rankings, coming off a win. Same with Alex Caceres. Herbert Burns versus Charles Rosa to headline the early prelims. And then the 2 shit fights underneath that are already booked. There's some good fights. They're not actually fights. I've just made them up. So I don't know why I'm acting like they're already booked, but still. Landwehr should fight Darth Vader. Interesting. I like themed cards. I like themed cards as well. Did Guru just say Masvidal beats Burns? What the fuck, bro? Yeah, Burns doesn't have great grappling offense. Why is my thing shaking? I'm not even doing anything. Burns doesn't have good... Am I having an earthquake? Someone's coming up the stairs. Oh, I put on weight. How far can Woodson go in the UFC? He can go far. I don't think he'll ever... I don't know. I think there's going to come a time when someone kicks him in the legs a couple times, and it might be all over. But we'll see. Landwehr is such a clown. I love him. Yeah, I like Landwehr. Night the train. Landwehr. Dana White. I like Nate Landwehr. Landwehr versus Cub Swanson would be fun. Nope. Nope. Don't you dare. Actually, that could be fun. That's a great matchup. I was going to say Swanson versus Philly, but Philly's fighting Bryce Mitchell for some bizarre reason. So, yeah. My birthday is Till versus Whitaker predictions. Till was a massive underdog and insane odds for TKO KO. Till is a massive underdog? I don't think he is. I think he's a slight underdog. But, yeah, I think Till's going to win by TKO in the second round. Ah! Did you see Sean O'Malley shaving his purple balls? I did not. I've got Darko Stojic by getting Gaethje kick in round 1. Guru has a 1 in a million chance of beating Ngannou. Thank you for mentioning that as well. Gilbert Burns eats Masvidal alive. That's not true. Burns doesn't have great grappling offense. He cannot keep guys on the ground. Jorge Masvidal was able to keep a prime Damian Maia. Not prime Damian Maia, but closer to a prime Damian Maia than now, without submitting him, and Maia had his back for pretty much like 12 minutes of a 15-minute fight. I don't think Burns would submit Masvidal whatsoever. I think Masvidal would just outstrike Burns and keep it standing. Styles make fights. You know what I'm saying? Your thoughts on Amanda Ribas? Really good. I'm glad she's going to get to whoop up on Paige Van Zandt, but still. Wow, she's got a lot of followers. Amanda Ribas, 382k followers. Okay. Right then. That's crazy. That is crazy. Without the UFC, she'd have none of them. You know what I mean? Genuinely none of them. But all good. All good. Good stuff. She's got a lot of followers. I think she's going to beat Paige Van Zandt. Paige Van Zandt came out and said, I get paid more for dancing on ice than I do for fighting in UFC. Because you're actually somewhat good at dancing on ice and you're not good at fighting. That's why you get paid more. Pretty fucking obvious. You're good at dancing. You can't fight for shit. That's why you get paid more for dancing. Why don't you go and dance, bitch? I don't even know. Or you at Underdog or Hot Dog. That was such a bad joke. Dude, come on. I don't even mind the insults. That was just terrible and dry and... God, don't even... Oh, just give me some good insults. That's just... such a forceful play on words. Whatever. Michael Pereira make good comeback from that robbery from Diego Sanchez. I mean, yeah, I'd like Mikel Pereira to fight again. I don't know who Mikel Pereira would fight again, but maybe we can check in the rankings. Maybe we could do Mikel Pereira versus Alex Morono. Alex Morono coming off a KO loss to Chaos Williams. I'm thinking that would be a decent fight. Ribas is going to destroy Paige Van Zandt, sort of like Joe Burns does to Masvidal. Joe Burns? Gilbert Burns. What are you talking about? Joe Burns. Funny how kind. Ribas is a minus 800 favorite. Yeah, she's going to destroy Paige Van Zandt, but still. Paige Van Zandt has a chance. It's female MMA. You never know. Guru versus Diego Sanchez. I would beat Diego Sanchez in a fight. I don't know, man. I just think I'd know what to do if he did this to me. You know, Diego Sanchez has been training for like 25 years. And his real good technique is this one. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this Diego Sanchez technique, but I think I could have the answer for it. And if you don't know what the technique is, it's this. Basically, Diego Sanchez does this sometimes in his fights and just runs at people for no reason, with no offense whatsoever, no attempt to throw a punch. He just runs at people sometimes. It's weird. And I think I could get past it, you know? And if he was doing this kind of stuff, there you go, force field. If he was doing this kind of stuff to me, I'd just go like this. And then if he was really and truly a Star Wars fan, he'd have to start going, and then the ref would call it off. I'd just choke him, force choke him while he's trying to do his force fields. I'd take him out. 1 or 2 hours tonight. We're doing 2 hours because I have got nothing to make a video about other than my anger at the weigh-ins, which I felt like would be better done on a live stream, in my opinion. Yeah, you can choke him that way. I can. Oh my God, Guru, go in ESPN MMA Instagram. Just post the funniest KO ever. It's up there with Pearson getting KO'd by Rolling Thunder. Okay. I don't know why that's funny, but okay. ESPN MMA. Did I say all of those letters? That felt weird. I felt like I missed like 5 of those letters. Just post the funniest KO ever. No way. Back fist from here. I need to see this. I haven't even played it yet, but I can already tell what the KO... Yeah, there's the description. I know it. No way did he KO him with this. Boom. No way. He's faking. Oh my God, he got KO'd by that. That is actually disgraceful. Wow. Put this guy in there with Ryan Hall. Ryan Hall would get KO'd within a round. That guy's either got some ungodly power to be able to throw a back fist like that and KO someone, or he's related to Nico Price, or we should put him in there in replacement of Ricardo Lamas against Ryan Hall. That's my opinion. There's one of 3 things that could happen next. But good stuff, clearly related to Nico Price. But then again, I'm imagining that a lot of people from Nico Price's town are related to him, including his significant other. Makhachev versus Chase Sherman prediction. I go with Chase Sherman. What happened at the weigh-ins? Jan Vellante was obese. Jan weighed in at 250. No. 255. Let's get it correct. Guy's chin is worse than Vic's. Not just 250. We're talking 255. Okay? Jan Vellante is catching up to the pay-per-views that he's trying to get on. I don't know if that was his aim, but he's up there right now. Islam Makhachev versus Kevin Lee. Who wins? What was the 2 names? Let me read it again. I don't know what I just read, and now it's gone. Islam Makhachev versus Kevin Lee. There we go. Islam Makhachev. I need to see Kevin Lee bounce back, man. I actually think Kevin Lee would win. Fuck it. I think Kevin Lee would beat Makhachev. I do want to see Kevin Lee bounce back. And I think a great fight for him to bounce back against would be Jakar Close at the end of the year. Or Anthony Pettis if Pettis wins against Hardy and is looking for a big name, I'd say they do that fight. Makes a bit of sense, you know. Or if Cerrone wins and then is looking for an opponent, then we do him versus Kevin Lee or something like that. It's good with Kevin Lee to cancel out another star. So they had Gregor Gillespie. They had this other star that they were working on. Well, it wasn't going too well for them in their plans of making him a star. I'll be honest with you guys, because, you know, he says nothing and fishes on weekends. Welcome to the fucking boring club, you know? But Kevin Lee versus him was a great matchup because either way, whoever won would look really good. And Kevin Lee won. So I think match him up with another guy who's got hype and they'll do well because either way you win that way, you know? There's no losers in a fight with 2 big stars. The real question is if Jan Vellante can get past Jordan Espinoza. That's the real question. I don't think anyone's really talking about it, let alone the matchup between Jan Vellante and Mark De La Rosa. No one's talking about that shit, for real. Conspiracy theory about Jan Vellante 8. Jan Vellante? Is that what a conspiracy theory is? Till is a 5-4 underdog, so if you bet 10 on him, you make 22. Yeah, that's not a juicy underdog, but that's okay. Conspiracy theory. I don't know why you're saying that over and over and over again. Guru, what are your chances against Nate Landwehr? Nate the Train Landwehr! Via not being inbred, I think I don't know what I think. Chances, I say 1 in 500. I could land the Herbert Burns knee from the gods. I reckon. Gary, do a Miles Jury impression. Hey guys, so basically, guys, this is what I made against Diego Sanchez, guys. The UFC paid me outright with the Reebok money in hand. Right, guys? That's what he's so YouTube. It's ridiculous. He needs to just loosen up a bit, you know? Just talk like they're people and not robots. Understand me? But all good. I'm rooting for him. UFC Insta posted an insane comeback KO. Watch it now. Seriously. Is it the ESPN MMA Instagram one, or am I just going to watch the same thing I just watched? Let me check. UFC Insane Comeback KO. I'm seeing a preview of CM Punk versus Mickey Gall, and I don't remember a comeback KO there. I'm assuming you mean the ESPN MMA one, and I've already seen it. Who's a tougher fight for you, Van Zandt or CM Punk? I mean, Van Zandt would just be like, I'd be thinking about other stuff, so it'd be difficult in that regard. So CM Punk would be easier, and Paige Van Zandt would be way more tough. Just to stay focused, you know, and not just allow myself to be put in triangles just for the fun of it. Guru, what do you think? Makhachev said he wants to fight Oliveira, and before Oliveira said that he doesn't mind main event July Island against Makhachev. Also, Dober is calling out Makhachev. I think Dober's going to get Cerrone. I'm feeling that that's what they're going to do. I don't like that that's what they're going to do, but I think that's what they're going to do. And I don't think Makhachev is going to get Oliveira. I think Makhachev's going to get Dariush. Dober's going to get Cerrone. And that's how they're going to do things. And then Oliveira is going to get Diego Ferreira in a Brazil versus Brazil main event, in my opinion. Or just another addition to a main card of a pay-per-view. Either or. Could Tyson Nam beat Stipe versus DC3 and become the women's strawweight champ? Yes. Makhachev negotiations underway for August, or maybe I will fight on the same card with Khabib. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, you're quoting him. The quote was at the end of the line, so I didn't see it. Okay. We'll see how the negotiations end, but I'm ready to fight as soon as possible. Sounds good. Jambalante by a knee down the middle. Indeed. Negotiations are underway for August, but I'm ready to fight as soon as possible. Okay. That's interesting. Could Tyson Nam beat... Okay, you've already said that one. Will this video stay up? Yes, indeed. UFC Twitter he's talking about. Guru's real name is Elliot. That's not true. Makhachev, Duck Hernandez, and Lee. Okay. MMA Guru be like, I want Tony Ferguson to take more brain damage. I do. It makes Tony Ferguson better of a human, in my opinion. Charles Oliveira stops Makhachev the fraud. I think so. I think he'd beat Makhachev. He'd outstrike him and he'd outgrapple him. It's just as simple as that. Prime Fedor versus Prime Kane. Oh, Prime Kane was on EPO. Funnily enough, I think I would say Prime Fedor. Crazy as it sounds, I think I would say Prime Fedor via just a Hail Mary right hand behind the ear or some shit. Like if JDS can, I don't know, I'd say Kane because Kane was on EPO, but still, good stuff. Funnily enough, yeah. You not heard that word before? Come on, dude. Lee Graceman. Fucking hell. Spell your name with one N, you bitch. Who will Carlos Diego Ferreira fight next? Carlos Diego Ferreira will be taking on Charles Oliveira if I had my own way. Brazil versus Brazil. Gregor Gillespie could honestly win a 3-round decision versus Makhachev. I believe that as well. Who will Carlos Diego? I've already answered it. Lamas versus Barboza seems nice, although the Stevens fight is good, but why risk one of them getting cut? Because that's the point. Get them cut. They're not here. You're saying why risk one of them getting cut, but at the same time, how many has Stevens lost in a row? Like, well, you've got to have some standards here. That's the point of matching them up together. One of them will be cut. That's the guarantee that we have. But maybe not Edson Barboza, though, of course. Allen will win by submission. Against whom? Oh, Brendan Allen. Yeah, I don't think he'll get a submission. I think he'll TKO him in the second. What's Greg Hardy's next fight? Todd Duffy, if it was according to me. If it wasn't according to me, I'd just do him versus Arlovsky. Actually, no, I wouldn't, because that would be according to me. If it wasn't according to me, that doesn't make any sense, because it sounded like I would still do something. If it was according to me, I would do him versus Todd Duffy and have him beat Todd Duffy. But the UFC are going to make him wait until probably September, probably on the Khabib versus Gaethje card, and do Greg Hardy versus Andrei Arlovsky on the main card. They'll probably do some shit like that, even though I wouldn't agree with that. That's probably what's going to happen. I'd do him versus Todd Duffy in August and keep him active. I only think Khabib will lose because Guru predicted him to win. Nice. Macca shit wrestles high schoolers. Yeah, he does. He does wrestle high schoolers. I'm on high school. High school. It's 104 days of summer vacation. School gyms along just to end it. So your lives and our education is finding a good way to spend it. Like maybe building a rocket or fighting a mommy or climbing up the Eiffel Tower. A animal that doesn't exist or giving a monkey a shower. Serving tidal waves. $1.99, almost out of money. Wish there was a Discord. That's a shame. Stop guilting me into it, Noodles. You pathetic, stringy pasta-like substance. You. Thank you for the $2, though. I appreciate it. Yo, give that up. I'm sorry, dude. I just get... Once you start singing a theme tune, you kind of got to get a bit into it. You know, you can't just sing one line of a song. It doesn't work like that. Prime Fedor versus Prime DC. I just got called homo for knowing every word to Phineas and Ferb. I'm the homo? I'm the homo because you don't know what Phineas and Ferb is? When did the world flip round? Don't be a puss, take the beanie off. No, I'm good. Strength before strength. Don't be a puss, take the beanie off. Adesanya versus Adesanya and Costa prediction update. I'm going with Costa. I think it's going to be... they say DC versus Cormier is going to be in a smaller cage. I think Adesanya versus Costa is going to be on the same card. I think Costa wins in a smaller cage. I think he really does win. I think Gasson probably win in a smaller cage. That's okay. That's okay. Puss spot? Yeah, I know. Khabib versus Islam, who wins? Khabib. Habib beats Islam. Islam got a cleaner stand-up, but he can't mix it up like Khabib does. I don't even think you can say he has the cleaner stand-up either, to be honest with you. He doesn't nearly have the grappling dominance that Khabib does, nor does he have the confidence in his grappling that Khabib does, if you'll notice. Like, if Khabib was fighting Davy Ramos, Khabib would just take Davy Ramos down. Like, I don't think he would fear him, you know? Like even against Charles Oliveira, I think Khabib would probably just take him down. It wouldn't be good for him, I don't think. But still, that shows confidence in his skills. I don't think Makhachev has that. But good. Makhachev's a weight bully, giant guy, so he does good in divisions. You know, almost lost to Arman Sarukian, but good fighter, man. Next champ. Fucking deluded people, man. He's from Dagestan. He's the next champ, right, guys? Yeah, he's the next champ. Yeah. Now let's go to ESPN to say how this next Dagestani guy is going to be the next champ. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Blatant holes in his game. Ignore them. He's the next champ. Craziness. I love you. If you want to see Guru's forehead, go to you. It's not true. He's not true. How are you doing the upcoming Gastelum versus Hermanson fight? Prime Fedor versus Prime DC. I don't know. Probably DC. Definitely DC, sorry. Definitely DC. As an Izzy fan, I can see Acosta winning, but if Izzy pulls it off, you have to admit Izzy is actually legit. No, he's actually legit because he beat Whitaker. I don't need him to beat Costa to be like, oh, no, he's good. He was actually legit when he beat Tavares, you know? I don't think the Costa fight is his big hurdle. You know, he's defending his belt. He's a champion. Tony versus Poirier. Who you got? Probably probably Tony Ferguson. Late TKO. It's on UFC Europe's Insta. I don't even know about that one, man. Probably Poirier. Ferguson's looking a bit different. Probably Poirier. Ah, shit, I got Guru thinking. Doubting X Doubting. Oh, was that your question? I actually know what Doubting X Doubting is. I used to have this friend in secondary school who used to love anime. I don't even know. I think I know who it is. Let me see. Alton. Anime? Oh, maybe I'm wrong. But still, there was an anime thing that he kept showing me, something X something. I never got into anime, but I had a friend who was really fucking weirdly into it, like orgasmically into it. It was weird. Like you mentioned something to him, and he goes, oh, like finally someone else talks about anime to him. It's this crazy inner cult that some people have that they don't reveal about themselves. And then one day you find out that they've watched every Naruto, and it's like, what? You watched something not in English? What's wrong with you? Are you going into year 8? No, I've been past year 8. Edmund Shabazian will lose a controversial decision. He has spoken. What I meant is that him beating Costa should result in you not thinking anyone else in the division has what it takes to beat him. No, that's ridiculously retarded because you're retarded then. And that's final, Lee Grassman. That's final. Done. He beat one style, therefore no one in the division has a chance to beat him, and you should not be able to say that anyone else has a chance to hang with him. That's crazy. That's stupid. Costa couldn't beat him, so this opposite style, Darren Till, has no chance. That makes no sense. Don't be silly. Don't be so stupidly silly. Come on, man. I love you. I'm going to ban you, Grandpa. No way Adesanya agrees to a smaller cage. Yeah, there's no way. I think he'll notice that Stipe's against it as well, and they'll use their momentum together on the same card to change it. Because that would be a good thing. If they are on the same card at 252, which I think they are, he's beaten more than one style, you fucking idiot. Yeah, but that's not what you said, is it, Lee Grassman? You said if he beats Paulo Costa, then no one else in the division has what it takes to beat him. I'm going to hold myself back from saying stuff. People don't know what they argue. It's crazy. They'll argue something and they'll be like, you don't believe in Jesus? Like, what? That wasn't what we were talking about at all. No, but the point is you say for every fight he's going to lose, and he doesn't. I don't actually say for every fight he's going to lose. I've only said he was going to lose to Gastelum and Whittaker. And to be fair, I was close in both of them. You know, he got Whittaker. Fair play to him. But Gastelum, I so almost had Gastelum. I literally predicted lunging right hook while Adesanya throws a kick. Gastelum rocks him while Adesanya's leaning backwards, and then he finishes him, and Gastelum shoots for a fucking takedown from the heavens and ruins his chances at winning a belt. You can't write that stuff. I was so close to being right on Gastelum versus Adesanya. It's going to be lit boy Mike Perry. You said it for 3 fights. I never said it in the Anderson Silva fight. So it hasn't been 3 fights. And I never predicted a fight before that one. Unless I might have picked Brunson to beat him. I don't think I picked Brunson to beat him. I think I've always called Brunson a bum and picked against him every time. Costa lost to him. No, hang on. I forgot about the Romero fight because I've blocked it out of my memory. I picked him to beat Romero. You fucking liar, Lee Grassman. You fucking liar. What a liar. I picked him to beat Yoel Romero, and he could have lost that fight. A lot of people don't talk about the Romero decision. He could have lost to Romero. That was close. Adesanya Costa are tough coaches. Won't happen till October. Oh, well. That's okay. I don't mind them being on tough. It's cool. I like that. That's cool. I mean, Costa came up on tough, so, you know, it was close. Izzy beat Romero worse. Izzy did more damage to Romero than Romero did to Izzy, you mean? Izzy beat Romero worse. I'm assuming you think that... You know how Romero's returning to the cage sooner than Israel Adesanya? You know how Israel Adesanya had a 6-month suspension and Yoel Romero didn't? You know how Adesanya barely landed a shot to face in the entire fight and Romero landed haymakers? Interesting. But those glancing leg kicks with the toes, they're crazy. Did you see? I think that Adesanya won. If I had to pick a winner in that fight, I would say Adesanya won. But I'm not going to delusionally say that he won because he did more damage. He won because he landed an extra leg kick in round 2. If he didn't have those numbers that he had, they probably would have given it to Yoel. Romero did not beat Izzy. I'm not picking it. I didn't say that Romero beat Izzy. I'm saying if Izzy maybe landed 1 or 2 less leg kicks in round 2, they would have given it to Romero. And I think a lot of people were shitting on Romero for not doing anything. But in his opinion, he probably thought he won that fight because, you know, he could have won. He could have won. You know, I think he was hedging his bets. I think it was a pretty solid 3-2 for Israel against Yoel. I don't think pretty solid, but I think I can see it 3-2 Israel, 2, 3, and 4. But Romero definitely won round 1, definitely won round 5, and 2 is up for grabs. But I think that Izzy done it with his glancing leg kicks, barely by like 1 or 2 strikes. It was close though. Adesanya's that's not a word I'll say. There's loads of overweight bullies in all divisions that no one knows, unranked, etc., because they don't have as good records, so no one talks about it or makes excuses of it. What's your opinion on this? I don't fucking know. I don't think being a weight bully is as big as people say. Look at high-level guys, champs. You have Khabib, Usman, Jones, Nunes, Cyborg, Conor, and Holloway at 45, etc. Wait, you think it is as big as people say, you mean? You've named all of the big champions for their divisions. And you can't include females because Nunes... I've seen this argument about Nunes, and people really get angry when you suggest that Nunes has not accomplished what other athletes have accomplished. Nunes would not do that to someone who knew what they were doing. And people come back and say, oh, de Randamie's a multiple-time world champion kickboxer. Name another female kickboxer. Go. Go, go, go. Name a female boxer other than Clarissa Shields or the female Irish woman. Go. You don't know any of them. They're nothing. You can become a female kickboxer just by signing up. You can become a female kickboxing champion by signing up. Not Holly Holm. I'm talking about kickboxers right now. I know Holly Holm because she moved to MMA. But right now, name a kickboxer. Name a female kickboxer. In kickboxing. Katie Hopkins. Very good odds on Perry by decision. I think Gall is tough enough to survive 3 round. Celia Brackus. You've just looked that up. And I know you have. Gall wins. Your mum. She's not a kickboxer. Hooker is going to KO Dustin. Guru's such a sexist pig. Okay, Sukaira. Khabib versus Usman. Who you got? Khabib, Usman. I say Usman wins. Female boxer, Delphine. Okay. Interesting. Abella Danger is an insane kickboxer. I know she's great. She really is. You spelled her name wrong, though. Ryan Hall. Okay, we're just naming retards. Ryan Hall. Why are you naming Ryan Hall? Why are people saying the name Ryan Hall? Guru watches RCL Beauty. I don't know what that is. Insane comeback KO on UFC Europe's Insta. Congo versus Barry posted 9 hours ago. Watch it. You think I haven't seen Congo versus Barry 50 fucking times in my life? I've seen it, man. It's not going to be shocking to me. Congo gets dropped about 3 fucking times. The fight could have been stopped, and then Barry puts his hands down. Congo lands like this shovel uppercut and KOs Barry. Cool. People argue with me that Khabib is a better grappler than Maia. Who do you think is better? I think that Khabib is better. Because he can enforce it more and against more people. Maia gets to a level of competition where he can't enforce his game plan or strategy. But I'd say that Khabib is better MMA grappler than Maia because he implements it better. And if you want to talk about, oh, Khabib's a weight bully, Maia's maybe the biggest 170-pounder as well. I've called 3 people within this one live stream the biggest 170-pounder, but, you know, he's up there. Kevin Lee can beat Islam. The whole religion? That's crazy. When is the next tough? Hopefully soon. Lamau, you called out my spelling of a porn star, but can't pronounce my name right. Feels bad, Guru. Lee Grassman. Graysman. Either one of them. Arnold Allen is a great female kickboxer. Very funny. You should try MMA. Very funny of you. Khabib versus Covington. Prediction. Khabib versus Covington. Prediction. I'd go with Covington. I think anyone bigger than Khabib beats him, in all honesty. I really do. I can't hear what you're coming from. Ain't no rest for the wicked. I've been playing a bit of Borderlands recently, guys. I think it's quite entertaining. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit entertaining. It's a good game. I saw the reviews of Last of Us 2 as well. How funny. How funny! Covington versus DC Pure Wrestling. Covington versus DC Pure Wrestling. DC, obviously, in my opinion. Opinion on Volante's shape at the weigh-ins. I mean, there's just a size difference and strength difference that, you know, I think DC would win. Masvidal said Till's jab feels like other people's power right hand. I really like that, and as much as I would love to agree with Masvidal that Darren Till's the hardest hitter that he's fought, I don't buy it. I think Masvidal's realized that he got dropped by Till, and the best thing for him to say would be that Till's the hardest puncher I've ever fought. That's why I got dropped by him. You know what I'm saying? No one would ever pass up the opportunity to name the guy that, let's say someone KO'd someone. They would 100% say that person is the hardest puncher, even if they had no idea. You understand? I think it's just, I don't think Till is the hardest puncher. Paul Daly hits harder than Darren Till. Prime Paul Daly hits harder than But then again, I don't know, man. I really don't know, because Gastelum looked like he didn't want none. After that first punch landed, I don't know. Maybe the weight cut on Till is a bit different, but who knows? Well, Till is bigger than Masvidal. He is, but, you know, it's strange. I do respect that Masvidal named 2 UK fighters as the hardest punchers. I'll fucking take it, boys. I'll take that. I'll take that little bit of a compliment. Guru's favorite actor is Ron Jeremy. That's not my favorite actor. Esfand is not my favorite actor. And I know exactly who that is. I've never actually watched any of his stuff, but I just know the name, because how could you not hear of the legend himself? Guru, how about we both parlay Gall and Hooker for a quick check? No, let's not do that. You could do that, though. Sounds fun, but I can't withdraw my bets that I've already made. Dan Henderson has to be the hardest puncher. Perhaps. Well, I think Asuncao was the hardest puncher that Masvidal's ever fought. Daly is Black. Okay. Mia versus Robbie. Who wins? What Mia are we talking about? Malkova? Milano? What one's we talking about here? Come on, guys. Sean Shelby has a snake-oiled salesman face. I like Sean Shelby. I think he's a nice guy. I've never met him, though. Beast of a dad. But I never met him. You know? But great guy. Always been nice to me, but I've never met him, though. Shanking in Scotland. Yep. Crazy shit going down in the UK right now. What's your parlay if I do this? If I do it and it hits, I'll send you a juicy dono. What's my parlay? Pena, Linz, Volante, Perry, and Hooker. But, like, I don't know. Mia Khalifa? Overrated. Overrated Mia Khalifa. Jeez. But yeah, that's my parlay. I'm feeling bad about it after seeing the weigh-ins, but, you know, we're just going to stick with it and go down with this fucking ship. Opinions on Volante's shape at the weigh-ins? Oh, I have a lot of opinions. He's a disgrace to the sports. I'm in better shape than Jan Volante. I'm actually in better shape than Jan Volante, and it's given me a bit of an esteem boost. I'm in better shape than the UFC fighter. I'll take that shit. Khabib versus Bryce Mitchell. Who wins? Khabib. Damian Maia versus Robbie Lawler. Who wins? Can we stop these fucking random predictions? Probably Maia by rear naked. Even though Lawler's got a good rear naked defense, I say Maia beats him just by being stronger. I think he would end up taking Lawler standing rear naked. In all honesty, I think it'd be a standing submission. I don't think he'd get Lawler down, but I think Lawler would give up his back defending the takedown. And he would get Lawler's back. Cannonier versus Romero. Romero wins. Tanabosa looks like Zangief, and odds for KO are great. Indeed. Guru, you should charge £1 for random predictions. I should. Dustin Poirier, I'm going to smash your face in. Dustin Poirier, I'm going to smash your face in. 2020, and I'm going to end you. James Vick versus Tyler Steinkamp, who wins? I'll go with Erob 221 on that one. I like Mia when she does the fucker fan. Okay. This is what the chat has turned into now. Khabib Ben Askren. His picks are shite though. Thank you very much. American English prisons, which are tougher and more dangerous, smartest inmates and stuff. American prisons, but then again, there's different prisons, man. So I don't think you could say that. There's maximum security in both areas, and both of them have murderers in. So I don't think that's a real. Oh, but the American murderers, they murder with an accent. I don't think that's like into the equation. They're all murderers in maximum security. But obviously, when you go down in security level, it's going to get a bit easier. But I do think there is something to be said about big-time UK criminals going to American prisons. So I think that I'd just say American based on that bit of information. You know, you hear a lot about these big-name UK criminals that get sent to America, you know. Tommy Robinson, they're screaming in my chat. How is Emil Meek in the UFC? I don't know, but he looks the part and he is a cool guy. So I'm down to see him versus James Vick. Loser goes to Bellator. Askren versus Guru in boxing. I'd take him out. That fucking fadeaway legendary Askren uppercut is not going to work on me. I'll tell you that much. I feel like everyone is forgetting about Jared Cannonier. Thoughts? No, I'm just picking Romero to beat him. I'm not forgetting about him at all. He beat Hermansson. He landed one punch after losing the whole fight. He beat Anderson Silva because Anderson Silva faked a leg injury. He beat who else did he beat? He lost to Dominic Reyes. No, but Hermansson and Silva, good wins. I'm not forgetting about him at all. Khabib or Ortega. I'd go with Habib. Nick Diaz Army. I'm not in the Paralympics. Okay. Shaq versus Cejudo. I go Cejudo. Leg lock, toe hold immediately. Predictions for tomorrow, please. No. Actually, I'll do them. I'll go through them all just in case anyone needs a refresher. But there's a video out for this one, dude. You're a bit late to the party. You know what I'm saying? I know the title says Poirier versus Hooker predictions, but we ain't here to talk about Poirier Hooker predictions. That's exactly why I titled this live stream that. You understand me? We're going to go Jordan Griffin. We're going Jordan Griffin, Yi Yun Frey. We're going Takashi Sato, Luis Benya. And then we're going with a little bit of spicy Sean Woodson, Felipe Lins, Brendan Allen, Gian Vellante, Mike Perry, and Dan Hooker. All getting the jobs done. James Vick versus Francis Ngannou prediction. I don't know, but I'm feeling about eating this Star Bar. Because it's melting and I can feel it. There ain't no rest for the wicked. Did you see Cejudo versus Benavidez and did you agree with the decision? No, I haven't rewatched it. I always thought that it was a close fight. I don't actually know anything about the fight. I watched it when it happened, but I wasn't in the hardcore fan status back then to start calling out robbery and bullshit and stuff. So I wasn't really paying too much attention. I just thought it was a close fight. But Cejudo got rocked a couple times, I seem to remember. Or Benavidez got rocked. So I don't even know. Benavidez versus Henry Cejudo stats. Let's see if the stats give us a bit more of a tale. Almost every strike was counted as significant, and according to the numbers, Benavidez exactly landed one more significant strike than Cejudo. Benavidez was up 22-21 in round 1, 22-21 again in round 2, and then Cejudo won the final round 26-25. Did he, though? Because I remember someone getting rocked in the middle of some of them rounds. Know what I'm saying? You do? Or any takedowns? And Cejudo got a takedown? Interesting. I'd have to go and rewatch it, but that's a close fight, man. I don't blame them giving that to Benavidez, especially if that takedown from Cejudo was in the third. That'd be the only thing that makes sense. But yeah, I'd have to see this fight again. Oh, money! $5 Belgian dollars? Thank you. Appreciate it. 5 of them. 5 of them. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Don't just spam that, Grandpa. Hooker is good, but he leaves himself open to too many strikes. Okay, did never been KO'd. He might have been. I actually don't know. But, okay. He leaves himself open to some strikes, but he's got good head movement. So, yeah, I like him. So, wait, why do you not like your parlay after weigh-ins? Jan Vellante looks like the guy who ate Jan Vellante. Jan Vellante looks like he was snacking on Tanabosa's stomach before the weigh-ins happened. And that's why Tanabosa's looking so shredded. I just feel bad about them because I didn't think that people were going to show up out of shape when they get paid tens of thousands to fight in the UFC for a living. That's all. Should Khabib fight Tony for his last defense? Yeah, or McGregor. One of them two. Upload this video, please. Yeah, it will be. Should Khabib fight Tony for his last defense? Guru thoughts on Tommy Robinson's reaction to BLM. I haven't seen it. What's up, amigos? Fuck, now I'm going to get it. Dementia, because I'm joking about it. Dementia in Minecraft. Nice. I didn't know you could get dementia in Minecraft, but that's okay. Where'd I put that block? Jan Ultra Instinct Vellante. Interesting description of Jan Vellante. By a 20-hit combo in the 3rd round. Corey Anderson style. We'll see what happens. John Jones versus Anderson Silva. Ain't no rest for the wicked. John Jones, calm down, dude. See if Dustin wins and Justin Gaethje wins somehow. Could Dustin be one fight away from a title shot? Thoughts, please. Yeah, but they won't do that. They'll just do McGregor versus Gaethje. I know. I don't think even if there's 2 guys on 1 fight win streaks, they're picking McGregor. You know? Could Askren have beaten GSP in their primes? Yeah, I think so. I also think if Gaethje wins, maybe they will give it to Poirier, but then they wouldn't. So I don't know. Maybe they'll just do Poirier versus McGregor then. If McGregor was smart, he'd call out the winner of Poirier versus Hooker, because that way, if Poirier versus Hooker winner doesn't call him out, he wins. Because he called them out and acted like he wanted to do it, you know, and they didn't. So I just call the winner out if I was McGregor, because it would make more sense. It would cover his bases, you know what I mean? Or if Tony sits out and waits for Khabib's shot, Khabib beats Justin and fights Tony, and I'm fucking sick of these fucking butterfly effects. Hang on a second. Justin fights Tony and beats him. Would it be rated or not? Does Tony have a winner fight before that first for it to be liked by casuals? Tony's not getting a title shot coming off a loss. Tony didn't get a title shot coming off 13 wins or 12 wins. Sorry. He's not getting it after a loss. You know? It's pretty obvious. Unless Khabib loses and we do Khabib Ferguson then that would be the only time we'd see Khabib Ferguson. Ortega versus Khabib. Holloway had a lot of trouble and was losing. There we go. Holloway had a lot of trouble and was losing until the corner stoppage. Hang on 1 second there. Ortega versus Khabib. And this is from ND209. Holloway had a lot of trouble and was losing until the corner stoppage. Losing until the corner stoppage. Now that is interesting. Now that is really interesting. I'm considering a permaban. I actually am. I was actually brutally considering a permaban. I don't think I'm going to do it because it's not his fault he has mental retardation. But if it wasn't for the retardation I know he has, because there's no other excuse, you must have some kind of brain condition. So I'm going to excuse you for your brain condition. That's the only reason I'm not banning you, because of your brain condition. And that's the only reason you're safe. Because if you were a person with a brain I would have banned you for that insolence. Khabib and Tony is like Tito and Chuck. Okay, calm down. Did you not see the judges score the card, Guru? Or you want to... I don't even... Did you not see the judges score the card? Oh, I saw the judges scorecard. I saw them give 1 round to Ortega. But let me just go back on your statement. And ND209, you're going to get banned in a second. I want to go back on your statement when you said that Ortega was beating Max Holloway until the corner stopped it. I just want to take your ass over to the stats. Okay? You claim that Ortega won a round. I claim that that might have happened. You claim he was winning until the corner stepped in. I tell you, Holloway doubled Ortega on strikes in round 1, 40-19. Holloway exactly doubled Ortega in round 2 on strikes, and there was no takedowns, 66-33. Actually, I think there was one Ortega slight takedown that doesn't even count. I don't think they even counted it as a takedown. They gave Holloway a takedown. How does that make any sense? Holloway didn't shoot a takedown. Okay, whatever. Well, they gave Holloway a takedown. That doesn't make any sense. Ortega was doubled on strikes in round 2. Winning the fight, by the way. No, down 2 rounds. Ortega had 1 good round in round 3, where he was outlanded by 20 strikes, 50-30. And Holloway in that round had a higher strike rate percentage that landed compared to missed. So that's another round to Holloway. And then Holloway landed 134 strikes to 28 in round 4. And Ortega was winning until the corner stepped in. I'm going to smash my finger into this table until it breaks. All cops to Bryce Mitchell. I don't know about that one. ND208, start spamming. You love him right now. You fuck. If Khabib calls out Tony, then it will happen without a deal. Without a fucking deal, probably. I don't know about that one, though. Liam Cooper, get real? No, he wouldn't. 40-35 scorecard, all 3 judges. Yeah. If Askren came into... That doesn't make... I don't know about that one, but I don't know about the judges' scorecards, but it definitely should have been 4 rounds to Holloway. So I want to do the parlay, then should I just not pick Giant Volante? I know you can if you want, dude. I'm doing it. So if you want to ride the wave, you can, I guess. Zizabit versus Khabib. Khabib would destroy him. Come on, guys. Joe Rogan said the new tough season is Izzy and the king of bitches, Paulo Costa. Thoughts? Great stuff. I like the Ultimate Fighter season. I wish so much so. I wish so much so that it would have been Covington versus Woodley. But that's okay. Let's just listen to Costa struggle to speak English and Adesanya say pre-written words and lines. Let's just watch that instead. I wonder if they'll push each other at one point. Who knows? I'll stay tuned for that happening. They might push each other at one point, and then everyone might get up and go, oh, and get into each other's faces. That might happen. Craziness. I don't want to see that shit. I want to see Covington versus Woodley, and I want Woodley to bring in Masvidal as a guest coach in front of Colby Covington, and I want that tension. I don't want Adesanya versus Costa, but we've got Adesanya Costa, so that's okay with me, I guess. We'll deal with it as it comes along, you know? This ain't no place for no hero. Ooh, this ain't no place for no hero, baby. This ain't no place for no hero to call home. Adesanya, okay, nice. Why pick Lins? He looked so arse in the last fight. But he fought Andre Arlovsky, and Andre Arlovsky can be tricky for some people. I don't think that Tanner Boser is... I don't think Tanner Boser would annihilate Andre Arlovsky. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't rate him where I rate Ngannou and Rosenstruik, in all honesty. So that's why I pick Lins. Because a performance against Arlovsky does not dictate your performance against Tanner Boser. Let's be real. Cringe Rail Adesanya. Nice. Cyborg has nice hairy vision, amigos. Nice. Thank you for your input, Mike. Darren should be a coach on Tough. No one would do it better. I think he would just sit there making websites about all of his contestants. Hooker impression. Hand over the money. I'll suck it. McGregor versus Khabib 2. McGregor was losing to Chad Mendes until the TKO. Nay, he was not. And here's another thing I want to revisit. Go back and watch McGregor versus Mendes 2. McGregor won the first round. That's all I'm going to say. Am I over the line for saying that? Actually, hang on. Let me check. I think McGregor won the first round against Mendes, in my opinion. Like, actually, I don't know about that one now. I'm looking at this. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm incredibly wrong here. But McGregor, I thought, could have won round one. I don't think it was a big beating that everyone dictated that it was. And when you really look back at things, I know someone being on top meant a lot back then. But if you look back at McGregor versus Mendes, you don't recognize what people tell you about that fight. With the way that we score fights now, where the being on top doesn't mean as much, you know, then I think you would come to a different outcome about the McGregor-Mendes fight. I thought it was a stalemate on the ground. Mendes was landing elbows, and McGregor landed more shots while they were grounded. Like, it's just, you know, one of them things. I just think it's a judging change. There's a lot of fights that when you look back at them, you would score them completely differently than you would score them nowadays, you know? Being on top was seen as so big back then, but if you did nothing with it, nowadays that's meant as nothing. Look at Felder versus Barboza. Felder got taken down, but landed a slicing elbow. Felder won the round off of it, in the judges' eyes anyway. You know, they judge things way differently. Guru, I'm sorry for the immense autism. I'm off my meds. I meant Holloway versus Philly. Oh, you meant... Oh, okay, dude. So you meant... Indy 209. Are you lying to me? So when you said that Holloway was losing to Ortega until the corner stoppage, you actually meant that Holloway was losing to Andre Fili until the corner stoppage. That never happened because Holloway submitted him in the third round. That's what you meant by Ortega and a corner stoppage? You meant that corner stoppage with Andre Fili instead. Ah, that corner stoppage against Andre Fili that never happened. Interesting. Very interesting from ND209. We're learning a lot here. I'll forgive you, but come on, dude. Let's not lie. Do you think Hooker will be able to stop that switch right hook from Poirier that was landing on Holloway? No. I think he's going to eat it and fire right back. He's got a great chin. Good, you drink alcohol? I don't really drink alcohol. I will do. I'm not like this sober guy. I'm no Delia. I'm not hiding anything. But, you know, now definitely not. Because now if you drink alcohol, you're drinking alcohol at home. And I think there's nothing sadder to do than drink alcohol in your house. That is the saddest. I will never submit to that lifestyle. And people in my family do it all around me. Not my immediate family, but, you know, I just don't like that. I think that's just a little bit weird to drink alone in your house. But that's all good. How big of a donation for you to take off the beanie? No donation will suffice. Unless you want to donate your subscriber status to me, in which case I'll get to 10K and take it off like I promised. But thank you very much. This ain't no place for no hero. This ain't no place for no hero. Bye. I'm just watching one of my old videos. I look so weird. I don't like it at all. But I was doing good back then, man. My videos got no views back in the day. I didn't know why. But then I remembered this because my thumbnails sucked dick. My microphone was terrible. I thought I had one of the best mics on YouTube. It was fucking terrible. The whole thing was a disgrace. I had no lighting, no nothing. Crazy. Kolkanoisky versus Cejudo, Volkanovski. Guru versus Megan Anderson. The rematch, you mean? Been there already. What type of hairstyle do you have? Over at the moment from here and then down from here. So kind of like a comb over, but not because it's longer. So it's not a comb over. It's just naturally growing that way. I have a double crown, so it grows that way. Do you think Perry will still win if he hasn't had a coach and won't have anyone in this corner? He isn't even over like that. It's just anywhere. I don't really have a hairstyle, man. It's just hair. So I'm walking home, got that third finger. Who else got it? Third finger? I don't know what we're talking about. This one? I don't know what we're talking about. White men brought any misery they experience on themselves. They had it all. And give it away. What? I don't get what you mean. We had it all, then gave it away. Okay, dude. Go Dan Hooker impression. Dan Hooker impression. I'll do it, Dan Hooker. What does he sound like? What does he say? I know you don't mess with Texas. Oh, my connection's unstable. My bad. Look, connection's unstable, guys. I can't do anything about it. That's crazy. What card do you think Mitchell Philly is on? Mitchell Philly is probably on the October card somewhere. MMA Guru versus Cody Statfic. Who wins? I don't know. Emmanuel Barboza has told me to say his name, and I have done. I changed my mind. I think Dan Hooker wins. He's much bigger than Dustin. That's not what you predict fights on, but you can do that if you want. I just think Dan Hooker wins. South London is a ghetto, isn't it? Are there roadmen lurking? Oh, yes. There are around every corner. There is a nank per 10 heads in the UK. Don't know what a nank is? Get with it, bro. Dustin Poirier's chin isn't that bad, Guru. He rarely gets KO'd or dropped. I know that, but he does get wobbled a lot in his fights, though, right? Like I don't think I've ever seen someone wobbled by Khabib. I've seen McGregor taken back by it, but not like concussed and rocked by it. Poirier got clipped by Khabib and stopped dead in his tracks and had to readjust himself. He doesn't have a bad chin by any means. I just think he has a chin that's able to be TKO'd at lightweight. You understand? That no one has a bad chin at lightweight because they don't awfully hit that hard. They don't hit that awfully hard. But there's a chin level of density that some guys just can't get KO'd at lightweight because they have that base fundamental amount of chin. But some guys don't have that base fundamental of chin. It's the same way once you see guys start getting KO'd at flyweight, it's basically over. You know? Read my shit, you shit. Guru Gould is going to sleep Perry, and Vellante looks like he trained at Popeye's top team for this one. Yeah, I'm regretting my decisions. I didn't know the weigh-ins were going to look that way, but you know. John Vlante's odds are getting destroyed by the minute. Yeah. Griffin, Lins, Pena, Vellante, Hooker, 10 returns, 410. Interesting. I went with Lins, Pena, Vellante, Hooker, and Mike Perry. 20 returns, 540. I thought they were decent picks. Did you see face-off, though? Size was massive difference. Listening to your argument helped me too, so thanks, bro. Yeah, the size was different between the pair of them. I just think that Dan Hooker's going to win it, man. I've always thought that. Even back in the day, I think you can actually go back to an old stream or something. Like I've always said, people have asked me what, in amongst all of the other random fights they want me to predict, they've always asked, Dan Hooker versus this guy, Dustin Poirier versus this guy. I think Dustin Poirier loses to Dan Hooker style-wise. I don't like the matchup for him at all. I think Dustin Poirier, as I just said, probably beats Ferguson at this point. I think Dan Hooker would get KO'd by Justin Gaethje. I think Dan Hooker would get TKO'd by Justin Gaethje first or second round. I just think that he beats Dustin Poirier. You know? Gastelum versus Hermansson. Hermansson's going to catch him in an arming guillotine in the first round and finish him, and it's going to look relatively easy. They're going to clinch up. Hermansson's going to throw him around like a dog toy and then just wrap up the arming guillotine and get it done. Hooker looks shredded as fuck. Was already on him. No. Guru, imagine if Hall KOs Romero in round 1, calls out. I mean, listen, Poirier, I'm not even reading the rest of yours. I will get to it in a second. I'm sorry. I know who it is now, and I feel bad for you because I bullied you recently. What was I going to say? Oh, my God, stop. I'm not saying that because Hermansson is way better than Gastelum. I just think that he's going to do that to him because Gastelum is not that good and not that big and not that strong. And if Hermansson can get Jared Cannonier down in the first round and take his back, I think he can do it to Gastelum, but way worse. But thank you. Guru, imagine if Hall KOs Romero in round 1 and calls out Gian Vellante, weighs in fat, loses by submission in round 2 and fights Adesanya in a non-title bout as Costa won by DQ. Yeah, that'd be crazy. Fuck it, Guru, say it. We know Romero won 1, 2, and 5. Fuck the sheep. No, I think that 2 is up for grabs either way, but I think I give it to Adesanya for landing more. But it's a close fight. Could have been 3-2 Romero. Could have been 3-2 Adesanya. If it was a split decision, I wouldn't be surprised. Mighty Mouse Triple C free prediction. Ain't no rest for the wicked. I probably think that Triple C would beat him. But I don't know. Maybe no. I think I'd say Demetrius Johnson. Cejudo cut him back down to 125 now that he's been a 35er for a while. I'd say Demetrius Johnson drops him and finishes him. Disadvantage. Who has Kelvin actually beat like anyone? Kelvin Gastelum has beat nothing but old fucks that are past their prime or taking it on short notice and still past their prime. Go through Kelvin Gastelum's career. People called me crazy when I picked Darren Till to beat Kelvin Gastelum. People said, you're crazy. Darren Till does not beat Kelvin Gastelum. Look at Kelvin Gastelum's resume. The most overrated shit of all. He landed 2 punches against Adesanya and we called him a goat because of it. That means nothing to me. Okay? Now let's watch. Sure, dog. Let's go for his resume. Loses to Till, loses to Adesanya, loses to Weidman. Those are 3 losses. And then we'll go through his wins. Name me someone in their prime and I'll give you a present. Name me someone in their prime. Ronaldo Souza, Jacare Souza, 2018. Michael Bisping on a week's notice after getting dropped and choked out by GSP in 2017. Okay. Maybe not that one either. Vitor Belfort, he beat. In his prime, Tim Kennedy, the one before that. Johnny Hendricks, the one before that. Loses to Neil Magny. Nate Marquardt, 2015. In his prime, loses to Woodley. Jake Ellenberger. In his prime, these are just a little bit stinky to me. I think he's had one of the easiest careers of all time, and he's fucked it up for himself. Could have. Did Colby get dropped by Usman because of concussive damage or pain from his jaw, do you think, Guru? I think he got knocked off balance because he was way out of line. He saw that Usman was going for something, so he was just really... Listen, he got hit bad and dropped. But the same way that Khabib dropped to McGregor, it still counts. But at the same time, I think if Colby just stood his ground, those shots don't KO him. He was moving around a lot towards the end of that round, looking for another angle to readjust, and that's when Usman stepped in. And when you're moving around and your legs are clunking together and then you get hit by something, you're going to get dropped. I think the second one was more concussive than the first, for sure. The first one was just, whoa, I got hit while I was moving. I didn't mean to get hit, and I've been knocked off balance. But then he gets back up and gets dropped again, but the second one was a bit worse. But then the stoppage was illegal, so doesn't count. Illegal shot to the back of the head. I thought DJ won the second fight. I thought Demetrius Johnson won the second fight. And I'm surprised with the new judging system in place for that card that they didn't think that Demetrius Johnson won that second fight, because think how much they don't care about being on top position anymore. And they gave it to Cejudo. Hang on a second. Let me see. There ain't no rest for the wicked. Oh, what did I need? Ain't no rest for the wicked. Let me see the stats. Stat. Everybody. Here we go. Dillashaw Garbrandt 2 stats. Let me see the Dillashaw Garbrandt stats while I'm here, actually. Oh, it won't show me. Right, so we've got round 1, 21-4 in favor of Demetrius Johnson. Round 2, 15-11 in favor of Demetrius Johnson. Round 3, 20-10 in favor of Demetrius Johnson. Round 4, Cejudo 9-9, but he was on top, which is why I'm saying Cejudo 9-9. Demetrius Johnson landed more of a percentage, but Cejudo was on top 9-9. I give it to Cejudo. He got a takedown and had position for a little bit, so I can negate some of that being outstruck, whatnot, 17-16 in favor of Cejudo round 5 because of a late flurry after losing that round, in my opinion. Cejudo gets the win. I thought Demetrius Johnson beat him 81-51 overall on strike. I think Demetrius Johnson just beat him. But, that's cool, I guess. That's cool. And Demetrius Johnson got a takedown in those later rounds as well. But, all good. All good. Who's next for Jordan Espinoza? Cejudo said on Jordan Espinoza's next fight, I don't mind seeing him versus David Dvorak or him versus Tyson Nam. Either one of those guys would be good. Have you done any martial training? Yes. I have. I'm a black belt, second degree in Taekwondo, and I did Muay Thai for 2 years on and off. The last year was on and off. And then I did Jiu-Jitsu for like 12 lessons. Or 8 lessons. I don't even know how many it was, but it wasn't long. It was like 2 months. Just watched Colby versus Usman 2 going into the 5th. I don't think it was. I think it was 3-1 Colby. I really do. I don't understand why people don't see that as well. I get that people don't like Colby Covington, but I thought it was pretty dead even 3-1. And by dead even, I mean not dead even. But Usman versus Covington stats. Usman won round 5, don't get me wrong, very clearly. But Colby was ahead clearly on strikes in round 1. I thought he won that round. Colby was ahead by 1 strike in round 2, and he rocked Usman in that round with a left hand. So I gave Colby that round as well. Round 3 was Usman's rounds all day. He was ripping to the body the whole time, and Colby had to readjust. And he broke Colby's jaw, so 10-9 Usman round 3. Round 4, 36-35 Covington, and Colby rocked Usman with an uppercut at the end of the round. I don't know how people give that 2-2. It's weird to me. But, everyone has their opinion, and, everyone has an extra chromosome, apparently. Usman getting rocked bad by Colby is worrying. Imagine what Gilbert will do. Yeah, it's worrying. I thought it was 3-1 Colby. I thought it was 3-1, man. I thought it was 3-1. Usman getting rocked bad by Colby is worrying. Yeah, I know, I just read it. My GOAT list, number 1, John Jones, 2, GSP, 3, Anderson, 4, Henry, 5, DJ. That doesn't dignify a response. Kelvin was close to finishing Izzy, but went for a clinch. He's good, Guru, but I think if Whittaker fight didn't get cancelled, Kelvin would have gotten slept. Interesting. Finishing Izzy, but he went for a clinch. He's good, Guru, but I think if the Whittaker fight didn't get cancelled, Kelvin would have gotten slept. What do you mean? Against Whittaker? Oh, yeah, Kelvin. I think Whittaker would have head kick KO'd Kelvin. That was my official prediction. Whittaker head kick KO round 2. But, yeah. Kelvin could have finished Israel Adesanya, but threw it away because he doesn't want a belt, apparently. One judge had it 2-2, the other, and 3-1 each way. I know what the judges had it. The judges had Jones winning. We don't listen to the judges. Would you rather see win versus Paolo or Adesanya? Who would you rather see win between them? Adesanya is better for the company. I'd rather see Adesanya win. Officially, it was 2-2 and a 3-1 each. Okay, I know that. We've said that 5 fucking times now between all 5 of you. I agree with that. How's Izzy's ground game? Izzy's ground game is interesting. It's okay, but it's not good. I understand that some people might see that Adesanya almost had Gastelum in a triangle at one point after he rocked Gastelum. But I don't think that's enough for me to say that it's really good. I think that if Adesanya fought a real grappler, they would fuck him up. And I mean real grappler, not fucking Yoel Romero's shitty ass, because he is... I didn't even mean that. No pun intended by shitty ass, because he did actually shit himself in the octagon. But his grappling's appalling, and I don't know who gave him his medals in wrestling. In all honesty. I don't know who gave him his medals, and I don't know who... I know who gave him his needles, but we'll keep that between us. Stipe Miocic versus Daniel Cormier, 3 thoughts. I think Stipe finishes him in round 3 by body shot TKO. Oh, Res for the Wicked. Cejudo said on JRE wouldn't have been mad if they gave it to DJ, but you think the judges lean towards Cejudo anyway because DJ was planning on leaving the UFC? Yeah, probably. Qatar versus Ige could have been Qatar versus Barboza, but Florida judges are stupid. It could have been Qatar Barboza. That's crazy. Did Colby get dropped by Usman because of... I've answered that question, man. So no. I literally picked your question out from other people and focused on it for about 5 minutes, even bringing up the stats page. And you ask it again like I haven't answered you. I remember that name. You sure Izzy better than Paulo now? Racist comments in Stardom has peaked. That doesn't change his skill level, though. Whatever he does outside the cage. Paulo improving English, amazing looking guy, good for promotion, similar to CR7. Yeah. All his UFC fights were amazing too. Oh, you meant in that way. Okay, I didn't see the rest of your comment. But yeah, I guess so. I mean, Adesanya, if he lost, I think the meme of him getting KO'd would actually go more viral than him getting a KO, I would say. You know, imagine that humbled video. Here's another thing. I saw a video where someone put up a video called Israel Adesanya humbles Robert Whittaker. Israel Adesanya standing up to bullies. I don't know about any of that, guys. That's a little bit strange to me, the way people see things, but, you know, he's a victim, I guess. You're dumb. Let's donate right now. Well, let's do it now. Let's do it right now, dude. Bitch. Hermansson isn't that good. No, he's not that good, but he's got great grappling, though. But I don't know how you've answered that half an hour late. I still think he beats Gastelum. If Jack Hermansson gets a title shot versus Izzy, I would bet Hermansson to finish Izzy. I think that's who he was replying to. I don't think I'd bet on Hermansson to beat Izzy. I think Izzy would catch him because Hermansson's stand-up is lackluster. Very lackluster. But I would go with, I'd see the odds. Witt over Sato? No. Takashi Sato wins. Guru, what's next for Sandhagen? Sandhagen should look to take on Dominic Cruz. The winner takes on TJ Dillashaw for his comeback. The winner of that one gets the next title shot. Easy. I grab my cash. Yeah. Pressure on Izzy this fight if it's a boring fight like the last one because he won't engage. He's done. No one will give a shit about him. Interesting. It's true. Garbrandt Moraes prediction. Moraes by KO. Head kick. I think if TJ can land a switch kick to the head on Garbrandt, I think Moraes can land it, but harder and faster. And as much as people say that Garbrandt is back, and I noticed a lot of things after Garbrandt beat Assunção. People after Garbrandt beat Assunção were like, see, TJ cheated in his Garbrandt fights, even though they've gone back and tested it and they came back negative. People just refuse to believe USADA. For some bizarre reason, even though TJ is out of his prime and no use to the company anymore. So why would they risk their fucking integrity on TJ Dillashaw? But oh well. I don't know, man. I just think I'm not convinced that Garbrandt's back. I think he landed a punch on Assunção. Good job. Before that, what happened? He got outstruck. He might have been winning those rounds. On the numbers, he wasn't. I don't think he was anyway. They were close. It was like 1 in it between the pair of them. So he wasn't outstriking Assunção. It was kind of back and forth, stalemate. He looks gun shy. He looked terrible. He looked a little bit slow. And then he landed the perfect punch. So good job. Sorry, I copied and pasted. Did the wrong comment from before. Okay. Who took more concussive damage overall? Kamaru Usman versus Covington? Covington. Because he got hit in the back of the head. That's big concussive damage regardless. Gilbert is a hype train. He's shit. Woodley didn't show up that night. Usman will finish him. Thoughts? Did Woodley show up against Usman because that's how you're giving Usman his credit? Or do you pick and choose when someone shows up when they lose humiliatingly? I think that's what you do. How did you score Usman versus Covington? 3-1 Covington going into the 5th round. I thought if Covington survived, it would have been a draw. But, you know. Who's the biggest lock on this card this weekend in your eyes? After watching the weigh-ins, the biggest locks are Jordan Griffin. If I had to make a guaranteed set of winners, I think I would pick Brendan Allen, Sean Woodson, Luis Pena, and Jordan Griffin. I think those are good picks. So, yeah. Jason Witt's actually pretty decent, so, you know, he's dangerous. Aldo might get stuck in Brazil. He's the most effective country by Rona, and Sterling could step in and, in my opinion, dominates Yan. Yeah, I think he would beat him. And plus, it would be a completely different style than anything that Yan was training for against Aldo, so it would catch him off guard, and I think that Sterling would get the jump on him for sure. Crazy speed people think, and I'll scroll up, Usman will finish Burns. I don't know about that one, dude. I think people don't understand that Usman hasn't finished many people, but that's okay. Guru, every time I said I was kidding, I'm sorry, don't ban me. Okay, cool. You were kidding. I get it, dude. It was funny. Guru, do you watch Mike Tyson podcast? Mike Tyson. I watch it, yes. I don't watch it. I watch some episodes. I watched Tyson Fury on there a while ago, I think, if he was on there even. I watched Ngannou clips from it. I can't sit through Mike Tyson speaking, though. So, you know. I feel like Yan was rushed to the top 5. His best wins are Jimmy Rivera and John Dodson. And Uriah Faber, who beat Ricky Simone, who just beat Ray Borg, who's about to fight probably someone ranked next. He's fought some good fighters. People say, oh, he only beat Jimmy Rivera and John Dodson, but Aljamain Sterling beat Sandhagen and Pedro Munoz. Good wins, and that's why he's higher ranked than Yan, but I don't think he's rushed. I just think they're making the best out of a bad situation, you know? I don't like that people used Kane went to New Mexico 2 weeks out of his fight and Fabricio was there for 6 weeks. Like, fuck off. Fabricio took the right steps to overcome a challenge. Yeah. Not even that, man. People pick and I watched John Anik talk for 5 seconds. It was like in these, you know, those MMA update videos. Dum 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 down 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 down. No MMA update videos. I watched John Anik speaking about DC, and he was saying, you know, obviously Stipe is a bit more scared of the smaller cage now because, you know, DC is probably going to be coming into this one actually healthy without injuries and looking to wrestle. Like, what? You aren't the voice of reason there. Don't come out putting that in there like DC was injured. DC picked up Stipe and slammed him in the first round, but what did he do on top? Nothing, because he couldn't pass into his normal positions. And Stipe had great defense and got back up. But like, and then what did DC do in the second round? Close the distance, tried to take Stipe down, couldn't do it, and Stipe took him down. What happened in the first fight? DC tried to take Stipe down. Stipe got wrist control, turned DC around, and took DC down in the first fight as well. People are deluded. They pick and choose who they give excuses to. John Jones has a close fight. Oh my God, John Jones must not have been training. No one in the world beats John Jones, not even Francis Ngannou. That is actually crazy. I'm so glad that they were saying that before the Dominic Reyes fight. Otherwise, there'd be no excuse. Overeem Lewis prediction. I don't think John Jones is that good, but you know, I just think people pick and choose who they give excuses to. What were we talking about anyway? Overeem Lewis prediction. Does damage taken an individual's career overall have significant implications when predicting matchups? Does damage taken in an individual's career overall have significant implications when predicting matchups? Yeah, I would say so, but I think I'd favor recency over overall, because overall can be like, okay, you got concussed in training and you got KO'd 2 years ago, but now you're back. But if it's consecutive bouts or like 1 or 2 in 3 bouts of your last, you've been hurt really badly or dropped or KO'd, I think that's a bit more of a sign. So I favor recency and frequency over the longevity and the mean and median of damage. You understand? So check this out. Guru Sandhagen and TJ are teammates and decent friends before TJ got popped. Now relationship isn't looking too good. Teammates in Denver Elevation team. It's true. Not official teammates, but they have trained together. I agree with you. But there's a storyline right there. There's a storyline. And I like it. TJ Dillashaw versus Corey Sandhagen. But Sandhagen cruised first. Then the winner of that takes on TJ Dillashaw for a title shot. I think that would be a great incentive to get everyone in there. But here's what you got to do if you're a UFC matchmaker. And this is what no UFC matchmaker does. You got to tell your fighters exactly what your plan for them is. Don't just say, take this fight here and here and we'll give you this kind of money. Tell them the direction that the reason why you're making the fight. If I was a matchmaker and I told Corey Sandhagen, listen, we're looking to give you the Cruz fight. And after that, we're going to give you a Dillashaw comeback fight. So you're going to get Dillashaw coming off a 2-year layoff. And if you win that one, we'll give you a title shot. He's 100% going to sign up for that whole journey. If I say Cruz, you're going to fight Corey Sandhagen here and this is going to be your money. Cruz might go, I could fight bigger names and get the same money. But if I told Cruz, hey, you're going to fight Corey Sandhagen here, and if you win that one, we'll give you a Dillashaw rematch for the belt for a title shot, he'd go, there you go. You've got my career kind of built for me. So if you plan out their careers a bit more, but the matchmakers don't do that because they're so inadequate that they don't know how to matchmake each other's careers or multiple people's careers because they'll end up overlapping people, which they always seem to do, which is retarded. Don't overlap people whatsoever. Don't end up in a situation where we have Ortega, Korean Zombies, Zabit, and Yair all fighting each other. It's great to have that situation, But it's just confusion, and no one knows why they're fighting and what they're getting from the fights. So it's just silly. You know? If that fight happened, a good chance TJ has to switch. Team Elevation Gym ain't big at all. TJ would take Dwayne to California, I bet. Yeah, probably. Probably go back to Muscle Farm, get his own gym set up, you know? Guru Island, yeah. If that fight happened, good chance TJ has to switch. Guru, what time are you coming on tomorrow for the fights? Right, here we go. Let's see what time the fight starts. Because I actually don't know what time the fight starts. You just reminded me. 11, because we've lost some fights. So 11 p.m. Fuck. So I'll probably come in at 11:15. Euros 30 cents each time €1 goes to the liposuction of Volante. Thank you. Monk Sir X. I appreciate you. Money. Thank you, good sir. Do you think Chael Sonnen is jealous of John Jones? I think that he realizes that he didn't do any of the mistakes that Jones did, but Jones is still more successful than him and more. So it's just, I would be jealous if I would live the law and order life. But then again, Chael was a money launderer before he was in the UFC. So I don't know about that, man. I don't know. I think Chael just understands that Jones doesn't like him. So what's the point in trying to be friends? He'd rather just play off the rivalry and get more clicks on his videos. Smart Chael. Should they scrap women's 145? Yeah, definitely. They should say, hey, Felicia Spencer, listen, I know you're fat, but come on. Do some crunches. You're going to bantamweight. Why is Ortega Zombie not 5 rounds? Isn't it meant to be on UFC 252? No, it's not. It's supposed to be on the same card as Smith versus Rakic, but they say that Smith Rakic is the headliner. But Rakic says that he's not fighting for 5 rounds. So I don't know what they're doing. I have no idea. They're probably just trying to convince a beat. Please go 5 rounds. We need you to go 5 rounds if you're a main event. Who is next? Who is next? Don't tell me. No. Not who is next. We need you to go 5 rounds in the main event. Who is next? Kyle Bochniak. Who is next? Knows a bit. We need you to go 5 rounds. Staff infection every fight. Staff infection. No, Zabit. Listen, it's a difficult time to lure Zabit into a 5 rounder that he knows he's going to lose. What's your most anticipated fight for the rest of 2020? IMO, it's Paulo versus Izzy for sure. I hope I pronounced that second sure correctly. Yeah, maybe. But when Colby versus Woodley gets signed, I don't care. I like that storyline. But, yeah, probably Costa versus Izzy. But probably Khabib Gaethje at the same time is a huge fight. I'm not really too amped up for the Stipe DC trilogy. And I don't think many people are either. I think it does worse numbers than the first two. Actually, I think it might do more numbers because of the current situation with no fights. But, yeah, I'm not that hyped up for the trilogy, I'll be honest with you guys. I'm loving Cal Kadalkaus this week. Yeah. I'm really sorry, Guru. I have a lot of respect for you and would never waste your time and purpose. Thank you very much. How does Edmund do in the top 5? 2 most confident picks. Edmund does well in the top 5. How does Edmund do in the top 5? I think Edmund would probably beat... I don't know if he does well in the top 5. I need to see more from him. I don't think the win over Tavares dictates to me that much at this point in his career, But if he starches Brunson, listen, I'm interested in him versus anyone in the top 5. But for now, let me see him get past Brunson first, Adesanya will pick him apart. Yeah, Adesanya will win. I just fucked up my left eye then. What's your most anticipated fight for the rest of... I just answered that, man. Everything's okay. I'm not angry. I'm not even angry. Everything's okay. Orosa to win. Yes, no, not at all. Sean Woodson's going to annihilate him. Destruction. What's your most anticipated fight for the rest of 2020? IMO, it's Paulo versus... Why am I reading it more? I feel like Woodley will surprise people. I think he'll come out guns blazing. Yeah, and he'll walk straight into a Colby left-hand double leg, and then Colby will just take him for a ride the rest of the fight, and Woodley will gas out. I'm loving Kyler Dalkaus this week. I don't think he wins, dude, but I think he's a good pick. If it was a full camp fight, I probably would maybe lean to him as an underdog, honestly, but it's a short notice camp, and I don't think he's going to win. Opinion on judo and MMA. It's good in MMA, but you need it. Judo and MMA is a brick. That's about it. It's a brick. The wrestling and the grappling is... and the jiu-jitsu is the cement, But it's a good brick to add to your wall. Don't get me wrong. It's a really good brick to add to your wall in the same way that a jab And some decent boxing technique is another good brick to add to your wall. And maybe a great leg kick is also quite good. But it's a very specific aspect of the grappling that it can get you to a place where you need to know other stuff to succeed. You understand? Because I know that judo's good, but, you know, it's good. If you're a female and there's no other talent, but, you know, guys will see a hip toss coming. Davey Ramos. Colby versus Woodley has passed the expiration date. Colby should have struck while the iron was hot before Darren Till. He might have won. He had, what's this called? What was the surgery that Colby had that he had to wait 6 weeks for? A deviated septum. Colby Covington had a deviated septum after the RDA fight. I think even before the RDA fight, had a deviated septum. But he fought anyway. He might have got it in the fight. I'm not even sure. But he had it after the fight anyway. Had to go to the doctors. They said you can't fight for another 6 weeks because we're going to have to do nasal surgery. And then Woodley calls him out and says, hey, I want you in 5 weeks. Oh, great. Woodley found a way not to fight Colby again. That's it. Oh, really? Yeah. Guru, what's next for Lerone Murphy? He has a fight with someone. Lerone Murphy has a fight versus not Makwana Mikani. Who is it? Let me see. Lerone Murphy versus Mosva? No. Where is Lerone Murphy's fight? Who is he fighting? Is it Ricardo Ramos? No, not Ricardo Ramos. I don't know who he's fighting. Lerone Murphy. Hang on. Brett Johns, David Ramos. Where is this guy? Where's Lerone Murphy? I swear he had a fight. Is it this next one? Qatar versus Edgar Card? Ramos versus Murphy. There you go. Lerone, I was right. Lerone Murphy versus Ricardo Ramos is taking place. It's a good fight. Guru, you ain't no West Coast gangster. What's up? What's up? Sergeant, what's up? Yes, I am. Guru loves the color gray. All 50 shades of it. Ricardo Ramos? I know now, dude. Thank you. Do you think Mike Tyson will fight again? If he gets what's it called? If he gets peckish for ears again. I was going to say nibbleish. It's not even a word. If he gets peckish for another ear, then I think he'll go back to it, yeah. I'm retarded. Courtney Casey looks like a Bigfoot Silver. Okay. Funny. Courtney Casey looks like the Crimson Chin. A little bit, you know. Courtney Casey looks like Bigfoot Silver. Grundy versus Movzar prediction. Let me see the Crimson Chin. Let me get a quick picture, you know. The Crimson Chin. There's nothing like him. It was a chin joke, you know. The Crimson Chin. Guru trying to be a West Coast gangster. Yo, here come the beast. What's up? What's up? Staten, what's up? What's up? UFC star rankings. McGregor, Adesanya, Masvidal, Khabib, or Brock Weaver. 1 is the highest, and so on. Star rankings. Well, we got to put Brock Weaver at number 1. That's guaranteed. McGregor's definitely number 2. Close, but Brock Weaver just about edges him out. And then we'll go with everyone else below that because no one cares. Man said Bigfoot Silver. Don't you find it funny how Shabazian's hardest fight was a split decision to Darren Stewart? He was quite close to being finished in the 3rd. It was a good fight between him and Darren Stewart. I don't actually remember it that well. I just remember Shabazian failing takedowns. That's all I remember from it. And Stewart landing a couple of knees and punches with his back to the cage. That's all I really remember. But yeah. Yeah, Darren Stewart's good, man. But he's just... That's what I'm saying. I need to see him beat Brunson or like something else because that Stewart fight. I mean, Darren Stewart just got annihilated by Bartosz Fabinski, who was a welterweight at the time. Like it's just you know. Somehow that fight with him and Bartosz Fabinski was a split decision. I just want to say this: it was annihilation from Bartosz Fabinski. I need to say that because you will look at Darren Stewart's resume. Let me look it up. Was it a split decision? You'll look at Darren Stewart's resume from now on and you'll look down. Oh, it was unanimous. Good, it was unanimous. But I think they gave Darren Stewart a round. I didn't give Darren Stewart a round in that fight. But I just thought you got dominated. Will you not answer my question? What is your question? You aren't answering anything. You aren't asking anything, sorry. Is Shane Burgos the son of T. Ferg? I believe so. There's no other question about it. 5 New Zealand buckaroonies, mate. Dingoes. Fair dinkum, mate. If Fucker and Linz win tomorrow, I'm a big donate, brother. Thank you very much, brother. Hooker and Linz. That's what we're going for. I like it. I'll take it. Which is more plausible? Thank you for the $5, by the way, the New Zealand buckaroonies. I appreciate you, good sir. Which is more plausible, Shane Burgo's performance disappointing or Emmett being underrated and realizing his full potential? I don't understand either of your perspectives. How good is Till's gym compared to City Kickboxing? Not in the same level, but City Kickboxing is a scouted gym, and it's the same argument I have with ATT and AKA. City Kickboxing went to Tiger Muay Thai, found all of the guys that were native to New Zealand or Australia that were good, and said, hey, we're building this gym. Do you want to come along? So the other guys have already agreed to it. You're all going to be there. $2. Thank you, LGW1130. All your predictions still the same? Yes, indeed they are. What an easy question for $2. I'll take it. Thank you very much, good sir. But I'm regretting a lot of them because of the weigh-ins and how Jan Vellante looked at the weigh-ins. But I'm still going with Vellante. Grundy versus Movsar prediction. Movsar Evloev. I think he'll win by decision. Outstrike him for 3 rounds. My question. It's not there. I'm not answering it. I'm not even reading anything you say. Actually, I probably will, but you know. Why is Paige Van Zant's boyfriend so ugly? I don't think he's ugly, is he? Kayla Harrison is the most deluded fighter. She thinks she's a better version of Khabib and would beat Khabib in a judo fight. Like, you suck. Yeah, I mean, it's just women thinking that they're... Yeah. Zan, you show us your spinning back pick. Go on, Zan. Do it, dude. Masvidal is still a fucking boss and he deserves more money, in my opinion, but him being a factor for Colby leaving ATT is a pussy move. That's my only issue with Masvidal, yeah. Pantoja Askarov prediction. I'm going to go with Askarov, actually. I think I'm going to pick Askarov to win because I know Pantoja beat Moreno, but Pantoja is not the best in the world. I think he beat a premature Moreno. I think Moreno coming back is a lot better. And even though I thought Moreno did beat Askarov, it was a close fight. And I think that Askarov would deal with him. Not deal with him, but just outstrike him every round a little bit, you know? But Pantoja is good. He's good. He's got good jiu-jitsu, but his stand-up's getting there. I just think that Askarov's takedown defense is good enough to avoid the jiu-jitsu, and his stand-up is better than Pantoja's. So I think he'll win. And his chin's better than Pantoja's, in my opinion. $10! When is Guru getting an Instagram so he can have more viewers? Probably never did. But no, definitely sometime. Probably 10K. That'd be a good time to start. I'll start everything at 10K. You know? OnlyFans. We'll get into it. Don't you worry about it, Chrissy J. Thank you for the $10, though. Thank you for the big buckaroonies. But I'm going to go now because I'm already 2 minutes over. But thank you for watching the stream, guys. I appreciate you. Goodbye. But thank you for watching, everyone. And thank you for the $10, Chrissy J. Toodle Pip. Twitter greater than Insta. Nah, Twitter's run by Radical Left. Goodbye, guys. See you later. Thank you for watching. I'll see you later. Have you gotten any chicks off this YouTube channel yet? Oh, yeah, tons, dude. They're waiting for me right now, which is why I have to go. You know, I'll be there in a second. I'll be there in a fucking second. I'll be there in a second, all right? See you later, guys. There isn't actually anyone in my room. But goodbye. See you later. Toodle pip.